everybody. Glad you all could join me for this fun project we're doing tonight. I did this a few months ago for Valentine's Day, and it was a lot of fun. People loved it. It's a little involved, a little bit in depth, but I think you will be able to handle it. So what you're going to need, you're going to need scissors, some bubble wrap without the bubbles popped, which I know is hard to do, paper, and you're going to need Amazon package, whatever. Also, because for one, if you don't have bubble wrap and you have the Amazon bag, a lot of times that part has the bubble wrap already in it. Also, we can use that for the background if you don't have construction paper, yellow or whatever. You can use this. Just cut it out, right? But it's kind of nice, you know. A lot of people sitting at home and they're probably ordering a lot of stuff. If you have this, works out great. All right, don't forget to cover your table because we are going to be using paint and you don't want to get that on your table. You're also going to need paint, and the colors that I specified was dark yellow, light yellow, white or cream color, and black. Maybe a brown. I have brown because I don't have dark yellow, so I'm going to mix the two to make it kind of dark yellow. And hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, and this is the project we're going to be doing today. It's a little paper bee on a bubble wrap honeycomb. So that's what we're going to be doing today. All right, so let's get started. Number one, we are going to start with attaching our bubble wrap to our paper. And reason why I said yellow paper or an Amazon bag is because it kind of blends in. It kind of makes it look like honey on the inside of the honeycomb, okay? Hello, City Museum. Thanks for joining us. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a slice of my Amazon package. Right? And that's so I can have this paper. Technically, I have this bubble wrap already in here. I could probably just flip it over and use it that way. But in case you all don't have that, we're going to do it the other way. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. And then I'm going to cut this off. Yeah, that's so cool. We totally could have used that. It depends on how big you want your honeycomb. You could do a bigger sheet of paper, but my Amazon pouch isn't big enough to do a huge one. Okay, and now the next step is, now that you have this, oh, don't forget you need paintbrushes, water cup, and a paint rag. I forgot to say that. That's definitely important if you want to color your stuff, right? All right, the next step is you're going to take this, hopefully this does not burn the bubble wrap. All right. You're going to take this and you're going to attach your bubble wrap to this, but there's a trick to this, all right? The way you're going to do this is you're going to take your bubble wrap and you're going to think about a honeycomb, and you don't want it straight, like just one straight sheet. You want to cut around your bubbles to give it that honeycomb effect, right? So you need to cut your bubbles, cut around your bubbles, all right? And try to make sure that you don't cut holes in all of them, because bubble wrap, you know, has those little edges in between. So try to cut the edges where, you know, you're not going to let all the air out. All right, and then just kind of make it a little shape that you like. I would say try not to, when you cut this, try not to cut in the middle and leave half bubbles, because then it kind of don't look right. You want it to look like honeycomb. Cut some of that off. So see, that's what I got going on so far. Can you see that? All right, and you're just going to kind of follow that around. I don't know how big you want your honeycomb. That's up to you. I'm just going to cut some of this off here. But you kind of want it to, you know, look like the combs, so make sure you're kind of following it and not just cutting straight lines, right? Okay. So that's what I have so far. So I'm trying to get to my chat so I can read stuff. Okay. Now, I like to add like a little bit, like it's hanging down, like it's drooping, like drippy. So I'll show you what I mean. So I like to have it kind of hanging like that, right? Okay. Now, once you have that done, your next step is to attach it to your construction paper or cardstock or whatever it is that you have. And on this one, I used glue, so I'm kind of worried that my hot glue is going to melt my plastic. And if that's the case, then I don't know what I'm going to do because I do not have glue. I have Mod Podge in the other room, but okay. So very lightly, I'm going to add a few glue dots here, or a very thin layer of glue, I should say, and then I'm going to lay that on top. Oh, good, it didn't melt it. Woohoo! All right, and then now once that's on there, then the next step is I'm going to cut around what I just cut, okay? Now, I didn't have any yellow construction paper, that's why I'm using this. I wish I did, because I would love to attach it to a brighter yellow or something. Alright. But this already looks like there's honey in it, right? It looks a lot brighter than what it is on camera. It's more of a dark color. I had to add a brighter filter to my camera because my lighting was terrible, so it makes the colors look a little different than what it is. All right. So there's my honeycomb, and it's funny because on the other side I have that. Not sure how that's going to work, but anyway, that's what I did, and it kind of sticks off. That's kind of cool. I guess I'll attach it to this paper. So I'm going to do that next. I'm going to attach this to the paper. Well, now, make sure that you save some paper. Oh, this is melting this. Ugh. You need to save some paper because that's how we're going to make our bee, all right? All right, so there's that. Now I got that attached to the paper. And then just cut a square. Cut that like a square. Or whatever shape you have. There. Then if you want, you can add like a little message here or not. That's up to you. Okay, and then I'm going to save that. Now this paper also is going to be how we make our bee. The bee is tricky, so pardon me, my eye keeps itching. These allergies are a nightmare. All right. And then we're going to set that aside for a second, okay, just for a second. All right, and then the next step is, once we have our thing attached, the next step is the bee. And now the bee is not the easiest, okay? So you just got to take your time. Don't burn yourself, all right? So the way you're going to do your bee, I'm gonna zoom this camera up so you all can watch my hands because you can't need to see my hands for this. Okay. All right, can you see that? Oh, yeah, okay. All right, that's great. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is you're going to kind of, well, actually, hold on. Don't do that yet. I forgot to tell us we need markers or colored pencils. I knew there was something I forgot. Oh, yellow marker if you have it would be great. Color that in. Sorry, you all. Maybe I put it in the description. I think I did. I just didn't get it out. That was my mistake. I didn't get my markers out. I thought I had everything on my table. Anyway, color your paper first because this is your bee. And you want your bee to be yellow or whatever color you want your bee. You could make your bee whatever color. Okay, mine is yellow though. Okay, and so then once you have that colored, it's kind of wet. Once you have that colored, you're going to start kind of wadding it. Can you see that? On around the edges. You see how I'm cupping this? Like that? All right, well that's how you're going to do it. You're just going to keep wadding on the edges. All right, until you work your way into the middle. And when you get to that part and you've got all your little edges in, then you're going to start working on your bee. So you're going to push, squeeze. See how it's looking? Fold it in, squeeze, and squeeze, and squeeze. And then, now remember, I've been doing paper type crafts for paper art and all different types of things for a very long time. Remember, I've worked at City Museum for 13 years, so I've honed in on some things that I never thought I'd be able to do. Okay, so then once you have that, it should be smooth on the top. If it's not smooth, undo it, redo it again. And then see this part where I folded this in? We're going to hot glue in there, okay? So hopefully yours looks like that. And you're going to hot glue in there. If not, and you can't do this right now, you can always come back later and do it, okay? So then I'm going to add a little bit of glue, right? This is the part where you could potentially burn yourself, so be really careful. I'm pretty much used to it from working with hot glue all the time, but okay. Now that once you have that, you should have your little bee body. Look at that. The body's already there. Isn't that cute? Okay, and then you're going to do the same thing with the head, but the head's going to be smaller. So you're going to take, now since the head of this is black, we're going to color the paper black first. Okay, let me get some black here. And I probably won't need all this. You don't want the head to be as big as the body, so... This one smells like licorice. Do these videos and I've been using these markers and I keep telling everybody what it smells like. Black licorice. Smells great. Okay. Now for the head. Now you're going to do the same thing. You're going to just start squeezing, right? Squeeze it on itself all the way around. And you want it to like cup. See how I'm cupping it? Kind of pushing. Squeeze. Push in on itself, squeeze, and just keep doing that, all right, until it's pushed in like that, right? And then if you look on the other side, can you see that? For some reason, it looks like my screen is not very bright. Okay, and so, there, all right. And then once you have that, this middle part, you're going to do the same thing with the body. You're just going to start squeezing it together. And, you know, you could shape your head on your bee however you want. You could do it kind of round like oval. So kind of like this, which is what I like. I like the little ovally look because it looks like a real bee. Okay, now once you get that all squeezed in, okay, then you're gonna pull apart where you squeeze, just like the body, and you're gonna put a little hot glue so it doesn't come apart, okay? So just kind of work with it. All right, and then there is the bee. There's the bee head, okay? So now I have the bee body and the bee head. Okay. Now you want to add your lines to your bee body, okay? So you're going to do your little stripes to your bee body. Okay. Now I'm using a pen on this, but you can use marker, colored pencil, maybe crayons, but I think the pen works better. These are micron pens. They're some of my favorite pens to use. use them for journaling and what have you. They have all different sizes, and they're pretty fantastic. You can buy them just about anywhere. I got mine on Amazon. All right, so then there is my stripes. That's a pretty fancy looking bee, right? Okay. Now, once you have that, you're gonna hot glue the head onto the body, all right? And then you wanna take the body and kind of push it a little bit so you make that flat right there on the top so that you can hot glue the head on, okay? All right, so now hot glue right here. And then hot glue it on. So now I have my bee body and the bee head. Next is the wings. I'm going to set your body aside for a second. And you're going to do the wings. Now, wax paper would work great, but I don't know if it would stick. I'm going to try. No, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to use regular paper. So with the wings, this is how you're going to do this. You're going to take a piece of paper, okay? And you're going to fold it in half. And then you're going to cut a wing shape out. But now you're cutting on the fold, so when you cut on the fold, you want to leave some so that you can open it up and it'll just be like that, right? So it'll be attached. All right, and then once you do that, the next step is to draw little lines on it, like bee lines, right? So you're just going to draw one in the middle, and then like little veins for like little wings, or I always think of them kind of like leaf patterns. I know it doesn't probably quite look like this, but you know, if George was here, if George was watching, he'd tell me exactly what they look like. George is our bug guy at City Museum. All right, so then now, we're going to hot glue this onto our bee. Sorry guys, I got a phone call on my phone. I hope I'm broadcasting again. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, so next you're gonna hot glue your wings onto your body. All right. Sorry, I have to make sure that everything is working proper. Oh goodness. Sorry everybody. Okay. Okay, good, you can hear me. Okay, good. All right. And so now hot glue it on. Sorry, I lost my train of thought because I got a phone call and it threw me off. So those are going to get hot glued on. Oh, this is so cute. This turned out so cute. And then that's what it looks like. Oh, my little wings moved. Now you could even not put them like that, and you could take them and tear them apart also, because I didn't like them the way they were sitting. So I tore mine apart. And then I'm going to hot glue them like this so that they're sitting more off to the side. I'll show you what I mean. So I add some hot glue here. That just to me didn't look right. Okay, so there we go. So now I took it off and I hot glued one to that side, all right? And then I'm going to hot glue one to the other side, okay? Oh, this turned out so super cute. I like this one better than the other one. Okay, so this is what my bee looks like. Cute, huh? All right, now that step is done. Next step is you're going to grab your honeycomb that we just made, okay? Okay, honeycomb. And then, this is the fun part. Well, it's all fun, but, okay, so now you're going to need to have somewhere to put your paint or use your lid. I need to mix some paint to make it look like a darker yellow, so that's why I have a paint palette. Okay, and then a paintbrush. That's kind of small. Paintbrush. Right here. Okay, and then also, I want to, I don't know if this is going to work. It's probably not going to work. Okay, so you're going to take your yellow. Take some yellow. I'm just going to use the cap until I'm ready to mix. Open the yellow up. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to mix. Okay, so yellow. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to paint some of these honeycombs. I need to zoom up more. So just paint some of these honeycombs to make it, bubbles to make it look like you have honey in the honeycomb, right? And do halves, do some that are half to make it look like it's not quite filled all the way, you know? Okay, and then do that sporadically. Don't do the whole thing. You want to do this sporadically because you're going to put different colors in there. Different colors of honey. Does that make sense? It's kind of cool because the little bubbles are like the wax of a honeycomb, and that's why I think it's so cute. All right, so just paint your little bubbles. I don't know about you all, but I love honey. All right. I don't think I've ever met anybody that doesn't like honey. Okay. All right, and just paint a few more. Okay, and then I'm gonna start with the darker yellow. So I'm gonna have to add some brown to make it darker. So it's a little bit of brown here. And mix. Can y'all see that? Can't see me mixing. Maybe you can. There we go. Okay. And then I'm just going to mix to make it a darker yellow. You know, I think maybe what I need is some orange. I need some orange for this. I don't think I have any. Do I? I do have orange. Okay. Always be pretty. You know, I love this little art cart that I have. Got it from Michael's. It is fantastic. Nope, I don't like that either. I don't think I like this yellow. I think that's what it is. It's like a creamy color, and it just doesn't, it's not turning out right. Here, let's do this one. This yellow's better. I'm just so used to working with these more higher type of paints that I just can't, I can't really work with the craft paint anymore. Okay, there we go. That's the color I'm looking for. So the yellow and the orange mixed together makes it darker. And maybe a little bit of that. Okay, there we go. That looks more like a honey color. That's what I was looking for, was honey. All right, and then you're going to start painting some of those with your honey color. When it dries, it'll get a little darker. Now you want to leave a space because you're going to have to hot glue your bee onto your honeycomb. So figure out where you want to put that, right? All right. And I like to do a little added touch also. All right, so that's what I got, if you can see it. And then my added touch, if it'll work, is your hot glue. Well, let me put my caps on these really quick. If it works. Sometimes it pops it, sometimes it don't. So hot glue, and you're going to stick it on the... All right, you stick it like that, and then you're going to let it drip. Can you see that dripping on there? All right, and that's going to be kind of like honey, and then you're going to paint that. I learned that little trick by an artist that used to work at City Museum. Her name was Jenny, and Jenny she's just super talented, and she did this with the hot glue one day, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so genius. So now when I do my honeycombs, I do that. Okay. And you can do that a couple of places. You can try it up above here, see if it works. Put a big glob on there, which I'm pretty sure it will. And just let it drip down. See that? Right there? Okay. You can hold it up and the weight will pull it down. There we go. Just kind of let it drip. If it starts to, there we go. And then you can blow on it if it's dripping too much to try to stop it from actually coming off. So that's what I have so far, if you can kind of see the glue there. And then once it dries, you can paint that as well. So I'm going to get my paint back out here. All right. Grab my brush. Some of them don't look like they're done. That one's done. Okay, and then you're going to paint some of it. So then figure out where you want it here. And then paint your honey. That one's not dry. I'm glad I tested that. This one's dry. And then if you're careful enough, you can get the little strings too. All right. Okay. So that's what I have. So it looks like it's dripping honey. All right, and then the next step is to hot glue your little bee that we made to the honeycomb, right? Okay, so we're gonna hot glue the bee to the honeycomb. So put some hot glue on the bee, figure out where you want it. I like to make my bee look like it's tilted, like it's getting, you know, honey or placing stuff in it or whatever. So I'm gonna tilt it up just a little bit. Alright, so that's what I have so far. That's super cute. Alright, and then I'm going to add like a little border to it. So you can use your markers or your colored pencils or whatever it was that you brought to the table with you. And add like a little border. You can do, you know, fancy little things like, well, that's too little. I need a thicker pen. Let's see what we got going here. Also, by the way, if you all have never heard of these pens, they're called Signa, Uniball Signa pens. They're white ink. Oh my gosh. I used them to lay on top of watercolor, and they are fantastic. They're so cool looking. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then you're just going to draw like a little outline or some fancy little something on it, you know, to kind of add to it. So I'm just going to give it some little scallops here. I like scallops a lot. Kind of like a little frame. This will look cute to just tape on the wall. Just the way it is. Now if you want, you can add color to the back. That's up to you. There we go. Okay. Usually when I do this project at the museum, I get a lot of people wanting to do it. All right. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then the name of the project was Be Sweet, so I'm going to write that on there, okay? All right. this is what we made tonight. It's this little paper bee with the hive and bubble wrap with some little honey dripping off it. I hope you all had fun, and I hope you, if you didn't get to do it now, that you do it later. And I will be back on again Monday morning at 11 o'clock. And if you want any information on City Museum, you can go to citymuseum.org. And Facebook page, like us, comment, be friends with us. All our info is there. Any videos that you may have missed, you can go back into the archives there on the video tab, and you can find all the videos about City Museum, all the things that I've shot and done. And until Monday, come back and see me.